Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another exciting edition of NIU Esports League of Legends. As we've got a big one in the conference today between Ball State and NIU. I'm Connor Vagel. As always, I'm going to be bringing you the action here today, and we should be into champ select at this point with NIU and Ball State. Ball State on the blue side, NIU going to be on the red side. And we have already seen this draft through Draftable. Let me tell you, as always, there were some interesting picks. So we're going to have to take a look at these as we go. And it does indeed look like this will be the Orianna in the mid lane. Okay. So we were a little unsure of which of these two champs were going to be mid lane and which is going to be support. On the side of Ball State, seems like we've got our answer here, as Ball State goes ahead and picks the Orianna in the mid lane here for into the Anivia that NIU has picked. Looking at the lineup for the side of Ball State, a little bit different than they might have played throughout the season. I know they've kind of been rotating in certain players. In this one, Plane, who is normally their ADC, is moving up to the top lane. Chumslog is going to be playing as the ADC in this one, rather than so their starting top laner is subbed out for today's match. This one should be a treat, should be interesting, as Plane up in the top lane is currently ranked number 95 on the server, so is about 890 something LP in Challenger. Should be a 878 to be exact. Should be a fun one there. Remy in the jungle is their Masters 139 LP. Mid, Wombat Baby, Masters 81 LP. Chumslog is currently sitting in D1, and Quokka is Grandmaster 562 LP. NIU answered with something a little more traditional. You see the Ornn, Viego, Anivia, Varus, and it's going to be a little bit spicy as both these support picks come through, as we did see the Mel flex down to the support role. Thought that was going mid, but it is going to be the support. NIU decided they were going to answer that with none other than the banana rammer herself, Soraka, as the support here for the Huskies. So they figured they have enough tankiness with the Ornn to front line. Viego going to be a little bit more bruisery. Anivia will have some health to her name, and so the Soraka will be able to just heal through some of this burst damage and poke that you see on the side of Ball State. With that in mind, we're just about 3 minutes away from the action, so feel free to throw in the chat how you guys think this draft went for these teams. We did see, indeed, a few top lane bans, especially. We saw Darius, Garen. Rumble was more of a ban towards the mid lane, obviously knowing that Chillin is still playing that Anivia here in the mid lane for NIU. The lineup, pretty standard. It's going to be Swolpengu up the top lane, Fury in the jungle. Chillin again gets the start in mid lane. Snark getting the start as ADC. and Soraka here is going to be piloted by Otter. We did have a couple of support bands, so that's where that Karma and the Leona came through. Um, Gangplank also up towards the top lane, so definitely a little bit different across the board here, and we'll have to see how this one plays through. Yeah, looking for a Pengu Darius game from T-Bone. Not in game one. We'll have to see if it gets let through for game two. I'm being encouraged by Twitch to remind all of you that Prime subs are still a thing. So if you have Twitch Prime and you haven't used your sub, this is a great channel to use it for. We really do appreciate the support. And so we'd really love for you guys to help us out in that way. Looking across the board, let's say a word of thanks to the people that make this possible. So we've got, as you can see on the screen, we've got a pretty busy arena today. I know Valorant has a match in C-Val that's going to start at 3 p.m. against Illini Esports, so that should be a fun one. Rocket League, as you can see, we just had Drew sit back down at the table, but Rocket League has been in the midst of their CRL qualifiers today, and by the looks of it, things going pretty darn well since Drew is still competing. And then we'll be having this League of Legends match here. Thank you to Ethan Noodle, our producer here today. And thank you to Turtle Beach, the official gaming peripheral sponsor of NIU Esports. And we should be getting in the game very shortly. Just a word of what's coming up here on the channel over the next few weeks. We do have on this week's going to be a doubleheader week for Overwatch as they look to secure their spot in the playoffs here in Esports Collegiate. Looks like they've got on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. They are going to have that's going to be a fun one as they will take on Miami of Ohio and then Ball State. This Ball State team that we're seeing right now in Overwatch on Thursday at 8 p.m. NIU League of Legends back in action on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Sorry, I said 8 for Overwatch, 7 for that as well. League of Legends Miami, Wednesday, 7 p.m. All right, we're getting into game, so we should have this ready for you very, very shortly. So we will let you know as soon as that goes live. There it is. And so I'm going to line myself up. As there we are. I'm not seeing any overlay for the stream side right there. It is. There we are. All right.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
All right, and looks like both these teams just elected to go for standard 5-point starts. Looks like we might see a little bit of vision up towards the top lane. Yep, nope. It is just going to be just hoping you getting an idea of where Alley Plane has gone. Looking at the runes and summoner spells, going to be double teleport on both of these teams, heal on both these supports, and barrier for the ADCs. So mirror matchups in the summoner spells should make it easy in that way. That's going to be some deep vision placed by Remy. And so Fury knows that he's got that vision. We'll see how he paths creatively to avoid being spotted by that ward. Both these teams starting with their junglers up towards the top side. You have to imagine that this will be a full clear into a bot side focus for both these teams. And then those runes. Jace going to be running the Grasp for the Undying, Conquer for the Xin Zhao, Arcane Comet for both Oriana and Mel, and then press the attack for Ezreal, whereas on the side of NIU, Summon Airy up on the Ornn here, so just looking to get a little bit of poke damage. Conquer for Viego, Electrocute from Be Chillin', lethal tempo for Snark on this Varus, and then summon Airy for Otter on the Soraka. With that Warden not having spotted Fury quite yet, now is going to get the vision. Um, Ball State doing a good job of just tracking where the jungler for NIU is in this one. Nice stun coming through. Anivia gonna be able to get a good trade there. Is be chillin'. And we do see though that about a 200 gold lead very early on. It really has to do just with the CS advantage that you see in the bot lane and then in the mid lane. Actually, kind of across the board. Now that's another nice trade coming through from the Anivia. Snark gonna be taking some damage. Gonna be traded back. The heal does go through, and so does. Oh no, just the heal on the side of Ball State. Now this is a route on towards Snark. Heal going to be used now as Quokka out of mana. So NIU going to heal through this one. It is going to be both barriers and uh, both heals used across this lane. And so both these junglers showing up here. Likely going to see our first nice little skirmish towards the bot side of the map here. As Snark looking to get some poke, but needing to be careful. Ball State doing a nice job of trying to bait NIU forward. NIU instead going to look to go towards this mid lane. Orianna going to be in a nice spot to be able to get some damage on towards Beach Hill, and that's going to be Agnivia popped, and Fury going to have to just get some damage forward. Wombat Baby going to take about half the HP bar, but it might be up towards the top lane. Yeah, we just have so many fights, so many skirmishes that are going just barely out of kill range, as I think with one more Q, we would have seen a kill up towards the top side for this Ornn from Swolpingu. This might be first blood, though, for NIU. Flash, it comes through from the Mel to just block any damage, as the Q was being readied there by Varus. Now, NIU, nice damage. Ooh, forces the Flash, does Wombat Baby, but using Flash of their own, and so just the constant trades of resources. NIU needs to be careful here as Remy is showing up towards the bot side. Now, the silence might not do a whole lot. That's going to be flash forward, and Otter is going to be the sacrificial lamb, as he will just let himself fall for first blood in order to get Snark out of there, as the recall had been used. So yeah, Ball State doing a nice job grabbing the first blood here. NIU not able to answer. Down about 700 gold. So that's about 200 from the lane leads in terms of the CS advantages. But then the additional 500 from first blood should be really what accounts for that difference here. We did see a recall come through from the Viego here, so it is going to be Mountain Soul to start us off, and now Quokka showing up towards the mid lane wants to make sure that this can be pushed in. They have some pressure on towards B Chillin, and it really should really prevent the side of NIU from roaming up for these grubs as they spawn in just about, yeah, just now. And so NIU instead will move towards the bot side, probably elect to try for this bear or dragon, and start off with the mountain drake. But really no priority in any of the lanes, and so NIU doesn't truly have an opportunity to use the Viego and contest this. We'll have to see if they elect to move towards the bot lane here. And instead, it is just going to be Viego starting up the dragon here. Fury grabbing some vision and starting that up. Now he knows that the grubs have been taken. Jace roaming down to help with that. And so Ball State grabbing that objective, and now we'll move. NIU will get the priority towards the bot lane, and they'll be able to move them up towards this dragon to help secure a trade of objectives for the Huskies. Now you need to be careful here. Yeah, there it is. It is going to be secured, but looked like we were going to see Xin Zhao showing up a little bit close there. So a little bit closer than you might want it if you're NIU. Otter, they do know that he's there. And that's just going to be the reflect used on towards Otter's Q there. And now Xin Zhao maybe prepping a dive down towards the bot lane. NIU does have the Viego up towards the top side. Nice trade coming through from B Chillin. NIU needs to be careful. Otter is very low, and with Xin Zhao here, nice heal to be able to prevent the kill. It's going to be taking turret aggro. It is going to be the kill going over towards Quokka, as Ball State does a nice job of just trading aggro on this one, and now that's going to be a second kill over towards Quokka, able to grab the Feet of Warfare, and a 2,500 gold lead is Ball State on this one. And that's really, really textbook and really well played by Ball State, able to just trade the aggro. And now they're going to keep getting damage on towards this turret, taking 3 plates already. Ball State building themselves a nice advantage here, especially towards the bot lane in this one. Now we do see both these junglers looking for some vertical jungling. Jace gonna spot out Fury here, and with Orianna recall, or with the Nivea recalling, NIU Fury needs to be careful here. I think he's just gonna elect to take the death from. Oh, might be able to get out of this. Now, does he have flash? Yes, he does, but forcing the flash. But yeah, that's gonna be traded back. Fury going to be able to grab, or not traded back, but that's going to be the kill going over towards Alley Plane, as Fury just caught out both of his solo laners recalling, and so with that timing, it did mean that the kill went over towards the side of Ball State. Now, B Chillin might be caught out here. Otter is here, but is it going to be enough? The stun comes through. That's going to be the silence on towards the Xin Zhao, but will it be enough damage? No, it will not. NIU also going to have Snark stepping up. He's going to be killed off by the ultimate here from the Ezreal. The True Shot Barrage is going to land, and now that's going to be just the dash forward, the double kill over towards Chum Slug on this Ezreal. And Ball State has taken this from a 2.5 to a 5,000 gold lead in a matter of minutes. Really just pushing their advantage forward and grabbing the damage on towards these jungle, or on towards the spotlight. Stark gonna be forced to flash. The stun going through from the Mel just to dodge that, and feats were secured by the side of Ball State with the turret taken. And so now NIU has the positioning. It looks like they are going to move towards this top lane and potentially even out these grubs, as does look like the side of Ball State will move towards these, but NIU does have it started up. We'll see how quickly they're able to secure these. Grabbing vision now. So they do see that Remy is going to be stepping in now. That's going to be the stun. Turning on it. Flash forward does Fury. That's going to be the damage and the kill. NIU gets themselves on the board, as that shutdown is going to go over towards Fury, and he'll take over the Xin Zhao here with the passive for the Viego. And we'll see NIU grab 3 grubs of their own, as that's going to be the shockwave used by Orianna. Will just mean a reset up towards the top side. Nicely done. Snark able to grab the solo kill, and that's going to be the damage, though, as Quokka able to use the execute up towards the mid lane, trade one back. Snark getting a nice amount of gold for himself out of this one, taking 2 turret plates. Unfortunately, those are going to be traded right back, as Alley Plane gets 2 turret plates up in the top side as well. And the turret, 2 to 3 turret plates, also going to be taken off the mid lane tier 1. Now, Snark, this is not a great spot to be in. The smite going to be used. does not have enough mana to use anything. The teleport is going to be there. Snark going to just be killed off, but now Be Chillin' is also here. Stun goes through. Remy going to be taken low, though the True Shot Barrage did land. That's going to be the damage, and NIU not able to trade this one back as Remy going to be able to move away and get out alive. Unfortunate for NIU as Chumslog just showed up in time. Not quite enough damage on this Anivia or Viego quite yet, although when you see Remy just kind of walk through the jungle without vision, that'll be chillin', saying thank you very much. I'll take that one. So it'll be 3-10. Definitely still Ball State favored. They've managed to continue to grow this lead, just about 6,000 now. They'll go ahead and start up this Infernal Drake. That's the stun on towards Otter, half of his health bar. And NIU now going to move forward, look to see if they can grab a stun on towards Quokka. The reflect on that now, change of corruption going to be landed over the top. That's going to be the kill going over towards NIU. It'll be donated over towards Snark. So NIU doing a nice job. They will lose the objective in the Drake. They'll also lose a couple more plates up towards the top side, but crucially for the Huskies, they will grab another kill and shut down this Mel, move from 4-0-2 to 4-1-2. And so NIU going to be able to answer some of this. Snark will take, yeah, that's going to be the damage traded back. Now NIU needs to be careful as Remy does have the Orianna bubble on him. Snark going to be taken low. That's going to be the kill. NIU trades one back as Remy is going to be shut down. No, that's not Remy. My apologies. Wombat Baby is going to be shut down, but the Ornn is here. This will be traded right back. The Nivea is not going to be able to show up. Flash going to be used by Remy as he'll be able to survive. And it will be a 4-for-1 in favor of Ball State. And NIU looked like they might have had an advantageous trade, but the majority of their damage was taken out really early there when Snark was killed off early, and then Beachillin wasn't in the fight quite yet. And so it will be just the continuous map presence and map pressure being applied by this Ball State lineup. Now, we might see some damage go through. Alley Plane going to be taken to about half HP. The stun does land. Might be traded back here as we do see Snark stepping a little far forward. That's going to be Quokka grabbing the kill. And, yeah, NIU just having to deal with this Mel having so much damage for a support on the backside. And slow lands, but not the stun. And so now Swolpingu going to have to fight against Wombat Baby as they are able to send, this is Ball State, they are able to send the Orianna up towards the top side, and Swolpingu just going to be a sitting duck, will fall in that one. Stun going to land towards Quokka. That's going to be the damage. It'll go as the kill over towards Beachell and Fury. Going to be following up. That's the flash forward down. Going to be able to get the ultimate, the Heartbreaker used, the knockback from the Jace, but it's going to be enough with the Blade of the Rune King able to grab the kill is Fury. And so NIU will answer it back. They'll get a 1-for-2 of their own. And luckily, they're able to punish some of these plays. Unfortunately, with such an advantage, Ball State's really just able to rotate and find an objective on an opposite side of the map every time that NIU looks for one. Now, Damage Snark goes forward. That's going to be the barrier used by both of these ADCs, and that's really just the level advantage that Chumslog now has. Being up about 20 CS, has a 2-level advantage, and so able to just survive through that one. Kill will go over towards Chumslog, and NIU loses their ADC in the exchange. Luckily for the Huskies, this is really a game that it's not on a timer by any means, but it is something where the Ornn is going to negate some of this advantage that is over towards the side of Ball State. A slight portion of that with some of those Ornn upgrades. They should be worth about 500 gold apiece. So we'll see as the Rift Herald does go over towards the side of Ball State. NIU not willing to contest that one. And so it will just be the kill going, or the objective over towards the side of Ball State. Fury going to have to be careful. He's taken very low. Alley Plane was there, but Ball State does say, you know what, we're just going to let it happen. Now, I'm surprised. Oh, you know what? It's because of the curvature of that wall, especially given the additional bush that gets placed down with the ocean drake here. Unfortunate for Fury, as he didn't know he was sitting on a ward. He had a control ward in the bush, so he figured he was safe. But unfortunately, it just didn't grab vision of the other side of the bush. And so he will fall. That's going to be the Rift Herald spawning. The Chains of Corruption do not land. Remy going to be able to find the kill on towards Snark. NIU loses 3 members across the board, and now will lose an inhibitor turret, as that is going to be one and a second crash used from Shelly. It's going to be the damage, as Swolpingo already taken down to about a quarter HP, gets healed up, but won't be able to survive, as the ultimate not going to be able to land in time. Remy going to be able to grab that kill, and now it's going to be another turret. All of their tier 2s, I should say, have fallen, and NIU has multiple tier 3s under siege as well. They might be able to get some damage back towards Ball State. Otter going to be taken low. That's going to be the kill back towards the Xin Zhao. And you could be grabbing something here. Beachillin is going to be stunned up, but the flash going to be forced off the Quokka. The turret shots land, but not going to do enough damage. And NIU going to be able to grab one back, but we'll see if they're able to grab any more. They need to be careful, as they're getting their health bars dwindling at this point. Able to grab a little bit more damage towards Alley Plane is Snark, but we'll see if NIU does chase this one forward. They have the Heartbreaker available on Fury. The True Shot Barrage does not land enough. That's going to be the Call of the Forge God, going to be able to do some damage, but NIU going to be displaced out of that one, not able to use the second part of the ultimate is Swolpingu. Beachillin will come up and grab one kill, but it will be a double kill over towards the side of Wombat Baby as well. And NIU, while they're able to find an even trade 2 for 2, unfortunately, with how much of a gold lead at 12,000 here and down 13 kills at 19 minutes, it's really just not going to be enough. You need to find advantage fights. You'll take whatever you can in terms of even fights, but realistically, until you get towards late game and the gold doesn't matter as much, we'll continue to see that these even fights really just advantage Ball State, because they're able to continue to stay on the map when NIU can't necessarily after those engages. This game will get to 20 minutes, so we will see an Otacon. I would be shocked if we see Voracious once again. We've been calling for Ruinous, and with 33 kills on the board at this point, I'd have to imagine that we're going to see a Ruinous Otacon. Now, what? It's how? How is that Voracious again? Somebody needs to explain to me how Otacon gets chosen, because I understand it's at like 16 minutes that it gets chosen, but even at 16 minutes, we've seen so much damage and so many kills that I would have imagined that had to be Ruinous. I've had it in my own games where fewer kills at that point and also still Ruinous instead of Voracious. So, oh well, in this case, we will see Ball State able to grab that as soon as it spawns, and they're going to get the recall out of this, as that's going to be the damage forward. NAU going to be taken very low already. I'm going to freeze, but that's okay, because that is just... oh my. Well, I show back up, and it's a double kill, a quadra kill, something like that. That's a triple kill over towards the Xin Zhao and a double kill over towards the Mel. That's what it was. And at that point, it doesn't matter. It's going to be the game over towards the side of Ball State. 28 to 10 going to be the kills. A 15,000 gold advantage in favor of Ball State. And they will just finish off game number 1 at 21 minutes and 18 seconds. Well, that was just a showing of class from one of the strongest teams in the conference, if not the strongest team in the conference. Um, I don't want to see the gold graph, but let's see the gold graph. Oh my. Uh, where to start? I mean, Snark, great job getting that 16,500 damage. Unfortunately, while Snark outdamaged the opposing ADC, uh, the Mel is a problem. As a support, doing tied for second most damage in the game, ridiculous. And that gold lead was never really even. I mean, for 1 minute it was even, and then you see that it just balloons up. So not much more to say about that one. That one is just going to be going over towards the side of Ball State. NIU will reset and look for something different in game number two. We'll step away for another 3 minute break, and then we will be back with game number two of this best of three series. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are here with game number 2 of NIU versus Ball State. NIU this time going to be on the blue side. No lineup changes for either of these teams, but what you will see immediately is going to be that Mel ban. So NIU deciding that that was a problem in game number 1. I would have to agree as a side note, and so they'll take it off the board. And other than that, these bans should look pretty similar. Skarner, Rumble, and Garen. This one, once again, should be that familiar face of the gangplank. And then Darius. And so NIU, this was held for the last rotation, but we do see the Camille here for Swolpingu. Jax was the last pick answer to that. Olaf was shown a little earlier. Vi was picked here by NIU. Vec's going to be the pick for Beach Chillin. It's a little bit of a different pick, something we haven't really seen as much from Beach Chillin, so I'm curious to see how that one goes. Karma going to be the mid laner for the side of Ball State. Ari was banned away. Zinzao also banned away, and you've taken that off the table. And let's see where these bans. Galio and Ivern is interesting because there was a hover of the Ivern at one point for Ball State, so NIU decided they wanted to take that away, and it was banned. Zeri was picked for the side of Ball State. NIU answered with, or actually first rotationed a snarked Ezreal here, so they really wanted to take away that Ezreal from the side of Ball State. We'll see how Snark goes on this one, and Leona to pair with that, so a little bit more lockdown, a little bit more tankiness and front to back here with the Vi and Camille to match with that Leona. Pike was the support pick from the side of Ball State, and there it is, going to get locked in. And so those are your lineups for game number 2. It is a different look than we've seen for the Huskies, so I think I'm interested to see where this one goes. Swolpingu getting his first crack at Camille in this season, so I am curious about that one. Fury going back towards the Vi, had a good showing on that pick earlier on this year, so excited to see him pilot that one once again. There you go. You got... You can see it on the screen. You got Ron from Valorant getting ready to go for their match here, or having just started their match. And he and Fury giving each other some air punches. Rocket League's Drew heading out for the day. So they must be finished up with their match. And yeah, looks like both these teams ready to go. Got a few Overwatch or a few Valorant players. We got some League of Legends players left, and should be a fun day here in the arena. Alrighty. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to go before we get into game number 2. Game 1, a strong showing from Ball State. You have to imagine they're going to come out swinging once again. So NIU, we'll see what they have to answer here in game number 2. Definitely a little bit of a different look with the composition. So hopefully that'll have some benefit to the team here. And we should be getting ready to go. Yeah. Eastridge, I think picking Camille without banning Jax against Ball State, big mistake. Beastridge says that he thinks Swolpingu is just that good at this champion. Animosity, did you guys happen to play the same way? Well, Fanatic report. Wonderful. So glad that we can go to that website and enter that code and boost our Twitch rankings. Thanks, Beast Rich, for banning that away. I was working on doing that as well. So perfect. All right. Here we go. Game number 2. Once again, Turtle Beach is the official gaming peripheral sponsor of NIU Esports, so very thankful to have them aboard, as well as thankful to have Ethan here on the production team. I'm Connor Bagel, and we're going to get ready to go with game number 2. Coming up this week, we've got Miami of Ohio for a couple matches. Overwatch at 7 o'clock on Tuesday. 7 o'clock on Wednesday, League of Legends against Miami of Ohio. And then Overwatch having a doubleheader week this week with a match against Ball State on Thursday at 7 o'clock. And then a week from today, 2 o'clock next week, we'll be back in action for League of Legends for yet another match, as that one is going to be NIU versus Toledo at 2 o'clock. So that should be a good one. But let's go ahead and make sure we're all situated with this. And oh, all right, just waiting on this here. And there we go. Both these teams looking to go for a 5-stack, and both them moving towards the mid lane. Although they just pass right by each other, as this is now NIU setting up in this river. And Ball State, by contrast, looking to grab some deep vision. NIU moving on forward, and yeah, both these teams just gonna place vision on the opponent's blue buff, and NIU will walk right out of this one. NIU doing a nice job of avoiding the vision. We know that they were tracked in game number 1, so doing their best to avoid this one. Jump slot with the Zeri. So this should be interesting to see a little bit of a different style of AD carry than we've seen throughout this season. And we might get an early skirmish up towards the top lane, as Camille gonna have to Swapingu, gonna fight this Jax. Jax just doing his best to zone the Camille away from the wave. And not a fun matchup for the Camille, but NIU gonna have to deal with it. And so it does mean that Snark then going to have to deal with a couple of shots from Chumslog. Going to have to burn his health potion early. Nice stun from Otter, able to prevent Quokka from repositioning that and keeping that one going. Poke back from Snark, but level advantage is over to the side of All State, so they're going to be able to just fight this one a little bit better early on. And now just the fear going through from Be Chillin', able to zone away a little bit. But both these junglers... Now, actually, Vi may look for an early invade here. Play for the top side. And yeah, going to be spotted, but so will Olaf, as NIU to go ahead. Be Chillin' taken to about half HP. Going to have to be careful here. And yeah, now the Vi is here to back him up, so... Wombat gonna go ahead and just shield with the Karma. Not really gonna have to be too worried about anything. Remy doing a nice job of paying away where the Vi is going to be and tracking. And across the board, pretty much even. Just those slight farm advantages going over towards the side of Ball State. And that's exactly what you would expect with some of these advantageous matchups and prio that goes over towards the side of Ball State in this matchup. Swampango doing a nice job of farming what he can, but again, just gonna be zoned out some of the time. Now, Vi is gonna show up here. Quokka gonna have to dash away. Not able to land the vault breaker, but the ignite goes through. First blood over towards the side of Fury, and NIU gets first blood in game number 2. Needs to be very careful towards the mid lane as the Vex gonna walk away with just a sliver of HP. Does have no, does not have any health potions any longer, but able to just get away from this one. So nicely done, knowing the limits of their champions in both top and mid. And NIU going to find themselves the early advantage here in terms of kills in this game number 2. However, the gold has not been evened out quite yet, so you're going to have to be careful as with these farm disadvantages that the Huskies find themselves in, it is still about a 300 gold lead in favor of Ball State. Now, Camille and Vi have found Remy looking for an invade. We'll see if they're able to get any damage. There might be the stun. The hook shot is not available quite yet. Vex also chasing on this one. Hook shot should be available soon. Jax is here. The ghost was used. That's gonna be the cue into everything. NIU trading this back nicely. Leona's gonna follow up as well. NIU gonna be able to find themselves the feat of warfare as B Chillin will grab that one. NIU trades top laners, but is able to get the extra kill out towards the jungler. Nicely done by the Huskies, finding a rotation with Otter, knowing that that Snark was winning the 1v1 in game number 1, and so he was allowed to just play something that can win this 1v1, and then when the sports roam, Otter was able to find it. Pike, obviously gonna do a fair share of roaming of his own, but this should definitely unlock some of these map rotations across the board. NIU, ooh, nice stun. The counter strike able to be used to prevent the hook shot. Did get buffered though, and so Swampango needs to be careful here. Does ping that that the Olaf is there, so nicely done by NIU. Now this is going to be the Zenith Blade landing forward from NIU's Otter, as just putting some pressure on this bot lane from the side of Ball State. Nicely done to dodge the hook. The S's Flux does land, so NIU, they have the advantage down towards the bot lane. It is going to be just like game number 1, where they're going to allow Ball State to just take these grubs, and they will trade it for Dragon here with the Vi. NIU will have that going. There, it's going to be traded at this point. So now the Vi is towards the bot side. Nice hook into the dive. NIU able to grab the damage on towards the ADC Chum Slog here, and it is going to be traded back, but the Ignite is going to be enough. It's going to be a 2-for-1 down towards the bot side as NIU able to grab the second kill for Fury here and able to trade the support's lives and get the advantage by killing off the Zeri here. So NIU doing a nice job of pushing the tempo, finding their map motions where they need them, and keeping this gold even. So tempo doing a nice job with NIU. We'll have to see how NIU continues to answer this, knowing that this is an unfortunate situation in terms of the CS right now. NIU currently sitting at about 20 CS down in the top lane and about 15 CS down in the mid lane, but nicely done. Otter going to show up as well towards the mid lane, so any threat of a further fight is going to be thwarted. And now we've got a little bit of time before these next objectives, and so it is just going to be who can play the lanes pretty well early on here, as Otter going to take a nice chunk of damage from the Karma. And we'll continue to see as Fury just continues to farm, is down about 20 FPS at this point, but makes up for that with the gold from the kills. And so jungle relatively even. Same thing with the mid lane, and advantage over to the top side on Ball State and bot side on NIU. Snark just doing a nice job of uh, preventing himself from getting caught in any of these re-rotates or these own lane ganks, for lack of a better term, from Pike when he's able to show up back towards his own lane. Now, Dragon is going to be an Ocean Drake. Does look like we still got about 2.5 minutes towards that. So even though that ping was in the Dragon pit, I don't believe that that was for the Dragon. Looks like maybe it was towards the just the fact that the Olaf is showing up. Now that's going to be the ultimate used by Zeri, and it is going to be the damage going through. Pike using his ultimate as well. NIU not going to be able to trade anything back. Nicely done by Ball State, baiting in the bot lane from NIU here, as NIU looked like they wanted to take the aggressive fight, but Olaf was already there. Fury does have ultimate here, so could potentially chase, but would likely be going one way and losing his own life in that exchange. And so NIU will just elect to allow everybody from Ball State to back away, and Ball State takes the advantage off of that one and will continue to just play aggressively. Now, NIU is going to ping towards these grubs. They don't want to give away all 6 towards the side of Ball State. Already seeing the Pike roam up towards this mid lane and towards the Baron pit where that objective will spawn. Does look like that's going to be the area where we see the next fight, as Quokka going to look to just grab the damage on towards B-Chillin, but B-Chillin able to flash away from that. Now this could be traded back as the shield is going to go through, but Quokka going to stay alive, and NIU will just turn this around. We'll see if they can continue to fight this out as the stun goes and does not land. Now B-Chillin going to take a lot of damage. Nice shield to keep himself alive, but will have to reset off of this one. And so that does likely spell the advantage in the objective over towards the side of Ball State, as Dragon spawning in 30 seconds, grubs spawning in actually have already spawned, and so it's going to be a matter of which of these teams can run first. Snark gonna have to sidestep but not able to do so, as that's kind of the power of the Zeri, just able to pop the lightning crash and then has the attack speed to kill this Ezreal before Ezreal really has the items to trade any of the damage back. So Vault Breaker gonna be used backwards by Vi. Fury decides not going to go in on this one, and it does look like NIU just going to have to try to set up for this Dragon, potentially trade that back. They will have to give up all 6 grubs, and we'll see if Ball State looks to roam immediately towards this Dragon. NIU not really in a position to take it very quickly, and so we'll have to see how Ball State elects to fight it. B-Chillin going to once again just be pulled back. The nice fear to turn around that fight, but Swolpingu going to be taken as well. NIU does have the advantageous position for this Dragon, but Olaf is showing up. We'll see if NIU going to try for that one. With the Undertow used, NIU won't be able to chase down the Olaf. They will just start up the objective, and so this is going to be the Huskies starting up this Drake, potentially putting themselves on 2-0. Although here comes the fight. Undertow does not land. The hook doesn't land either from Pike. Meanwhile, Fury just doing damage to the objective in the backline here. Though Remy is now going to show up. Fury going to have to dash over the wall to get out of this one. Does look like it is going to be secured by the side of Ball State. They will be able to get the objective, and they'll find themselves the feat of monster slaying. And so now it's down to who's able to get that first turret in order to secure these feats. And right now, advantage is definitely squarely in favor of Ball State. Again, feats probably not the most advantageous of the stat increases. We've talked about that game after game. But yeah, Ball State Gonna continue to have this Pike just being a nuisance. Now that's going to be ultimates dropped on top of things, as there's the ultimate, the cease and desist used by Fury, and it is going to be traded back as the shutdown does go towards the Karma, but Fury going to be here. Flash goes through as Remy also shows up. Otter going to have to flash to get out of this one. Damage comes through from the turret. It's not going to be enough, as that is going to be Remy using the Ragnarok and able to grab the kill on towards Otter. And Ball State finds themselves for the first time in this game with an advantage on the kill score to go with their gold lead. Teleport going to be used towards the top side, but that is going to be turret dropping, and maybe a little bit of an over-aggressive teleport here from Swolpingu, and he's going to get punished for that one as his turret drops, and immediately the side of Ball State able to punish that one. I think he maybe thought that it was going to take a little bit longer for Olaf to show up, considering that the Ragnarok was not available any longer. Vi and Otter and Fury just going to try for this one, but now it's a matter of, will Snark be able to survive the dive? Flashes away. Nicely done to dash away. He's going to be able to turn one back, as he will lose his turret in the exchange, but nicely done by Snark, able to take Quokka with him. And so, again, macro-wise, that fight does favor Ball State, but NIU keeping this game in terms of kills much closer to game number one, definitely finding opportunities and finding some of these fights that they'll be able to turn around in future matches. And now we're going to see the ultimate used by Swolpingu, able to find the Hextech ultimatum. Jax is going to turn this around. No, not quite going to be able to do so, as the nice Vault Breaker does prevent Jax from doing any further damage towards the top laner of NIU. NIU will grab this this kill, and that is a 3-0-4 Vi. Fury doing a nice job on this one, as now there could potentially be a fight towards this top side of the jungle for NIU. They do just move away, but unfortunate for not going to be able to layer the cease and desist into the ultimate there from the Vex. The Shadow Surge doesn't land, and so NIU does have to back out of that one using a couple of key cooldowns, but not able to find anything out of it. And now Rift Herald going to go over towards the side of Ball State. They will continue to ramp up these objective fights, able to just find the fight right before the objective and force NIU to not be able to rotate here. Pike not able to land the Q, so does mean that without the Bone Skewer landing, Snark is able to just walk away from that one. But this is really where the game opened up in game number one. About a 6,000 or 7,000 gold lead right now in favor of Ball State, but they do have the Rift Herald, so that is something to be a little bit worried about if you're NIU. If Ball State can find one fight, they have the lanes pushed in such a way that that Beach Hill is just going to fall here, as Alley Plane is just going to jump right on top of him. And they have the lanes pushed in such a way that one kill really will be enough to drop the Herald and take an inhibitor turret. Now that's going to be the damage going through. Chum Slug might be traded back here. Yeah, that is going to be the kill going over towards NIU. Nicely done to find that one. And I mean, I want to call out that despite the CS advantage over towards the Jax, which is expected in the matchup, I want to call out the play of Swolpingu here. Sitting at 1-2-2, NIU now going to be able to trade some damage here on towards Alley Plane, and they will kill the Alley Plane once again. NIU finding themselves even in kills, but again, I want to call this out, that Swolpingu is holding his own in this lane against the number 95 player in the entire server of North America. So this is not a no slouch up in the top lane for the side of Ball State, and NIU's Swolpingu doing a fantastic job of holding on in this one. Same thing with Fury. 3-0-6, currently having a really fantastic game. Now, that is going to be nicely done by Ball State, just layering the CC. They were able to bait that in as they just had everybody sitting outside of vision. NIU engages on towards the members of the team. They thought they had the numbers advantage, but it was indeed just a bait. It'll be the kill of the dragon going over towards the side of Ball State. It'll be the ace going over towards Ball State. And this is what I was talking about, that they still have the Rift Herald. They're going to go ahead and march down mid lane. They'll actually, yeah, they're trying to decide where they want to summon that. They do indeed go towards the mid lane for that one. And that'll be two inhibitor turrets that should likely be cracked by the end of this Rift Herald's life, as there's going to be the one. The bot lane's already gone. Jax is wailing away at the top lane inhibitor turret at 1929. That's going to be Otter falling. NIU looks to try to trade something back, but unfortunately, they really just don't have the wave clear or the fight. And it is going to be going over towards the side of Ball State. They'll just continue to siege on towards these Nexus turrets. Jax will take a couple of turret shots, but now Ball State has been able to get the minion line in towards the turrets. NIU, Alley Plane will take some damage. He'll be able to be killed off, but NIU will lose one of their Nexus turrets for it. The Ragnarok's going to be used, but NIU going to be able to turn that one back around. That's going to be Wombat Baby also going to flash. He's going to fall. Now NIU finds two. They might find a four, or sorry, they found three. Might be able to find a fourth. That's going to be Pike grabbing the execute, but will it matter? No, NIU able to grab the ace, but they'll lose everybody but Otter in the exchange. And now it's going to be Otter's job to just kill off these minions, as that is three waves of super minions that are starting to just crash in towards the NIU base. Luckily, Fury is available here to try to clear this out. But once again, at 21 minutes, this is a 12,000 gold advantage over towards the side of Ball State. They are clearly in the driver's seat in this one. But NIU, all the props to them. The Huskies are definitely keeping things much closer in game number two. Ball State pinging on towards Otacon. They're going to go ahead and it's kind of a mixed bag of it. Yeah. Now we'll just see. So what's interesting is Ball State had a couple of members of the team pinging on towards Otacon, uh, whereas Jax here, Alley Plane, was saying, no, 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 we don't need it. We can finish the game. And so he was trying to get them to go towards the base. So maybe a little bit of a split call we're seeing from Ball State. We'll have to see if that impacts anything long term, as we do see the Karma move in towards the NIU base. I mean, that is going to be Ball State just stalling out long enough to grab the Otacon. Now we'll see Jax enter the base. But Otacon is going to be taken by the side of Ball State. Now, Karma going to be just CC chained. That's the ultimates used by Vi and the Solar Flare. So Leona Solar Flare and Cease and Desist from Vi, both going to be used. And NIU going to be able to grab one kill. But now there's going to be four members of Ball State with the Nexus turrets already down. Alley Plane going to be killed as well. NIU will lose their mid laner, though. They'll lose their top laner as well, and their jungler. My apologies, not their mid laner, but their jungler. They will trade one back on towards the mid laner. They'll get that actual kill, and now it'll be a matter of Snark versus two, as Ball State just is trying to kill farm in the base here, and they'll get it. Not sure that was necessary, but in the meantime, they will lose. I know you will. Oh, wait. I thought that. Oh, the turret hadn't fully respawned. It was respawning in maybe 2 seconds. But anyway, 25-17. Going to be the final set of kills here. Large gold advantage in towards the side of Ball State, about 12,000. But NIU keep it a lot closer in game number two. Um, Now, sure, their draft was not necessarily a draft kingdom. That's okay. But they played what I want to give props to is what I saw in this game is it felt like NIU had a way they wanted to play the game. They decided this is how we want to play. We want to try to get, be chillin' and snark ahead in this one. Um, Even if that means drafting disadvantageous lanes for top lane and jungle, because we want to get the advantage for Snark and we want to enable Leona to roam around. And in doing so, sure, the gold, not the, I mean, the graph stays a lot more even for a lot longer in the game. I mean, next step is really just finding that gold advantage in this match, but NIU doing a nice job of really playing to their objectives and finding what they wanted to out of it against a very, very, very strong Ball State team. So I don't want to take away credit from any of that. This is a team that we want to make sure that we mention. This is a team in NIU that is sitting at 4-3 on the season, even with today's loss. So still above 500, definitely has what on paper should be I mean, they're in the midst of what on paper should be the toughest stretch of the schedule, and on paper has a little bit of a better ramp up period here into playoffs, and so we'll have to see if NIU can find their identity here. I think they started to do so in game number two, and once they have that identity, it'll be I think there's nowhere to go but up from there. So, especially, which is great to see considering that this team is already in a above 500 position. So, with that, we're going to call it a day. But as we've mentioned a few times today, we'll be back on Tuesday with some Overwatch action, Wednesday with League of Legends, Thursday with Overwatch again, and then Saturday we'll be back on with another League of Legends. So lots of matches again this week. You'll want to stay tuned throughout the week to all of these here on the channel. But until next time, I've been Connor Vagel. Thanking you so much for watching. Thanking our producer, Ethan Nguyen. Thanking everybody on the team and our coach, Bradley Bebo McKendry. We'll be back soon and have a great rest of your weekend.